Hey dudes, it's me, Mighty the Armadillo here, and I am back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Wario Land 3 for the Game Boy Color. So last time we basically managed to finish up the whole entire game by going through the forms of the final 3 treasures throughout the game, and also we did manage to beat the likes of Rudy the Clown, the final boss of the game by the way. And overall, despite we actually did have some couple of game over screens nonetheless, but regardless of everything else though, it's actually not that bad of a fight when you get the hang of it. So yeah, today for this episode is the fact that we're going to be getting things started with the extra videos. To kick things off, we're going to be hitting on to the forms of... Actually, I'll get to more now in a second, because as you can see, after when you beat the main game, you actually access to time attack mode. And basically, this means is the fact that you can able to replay the levels again, except the biggest difference is now, it's all about time attack based. So in this case, take Out of the Woods for example, that the first level we're going to be hitting to right now, and the ultimate objective on the time attack mode is the fact that you have to grab all 4 different colored keys, and then once you've done that already, chances are you would be able to actually complete the entirety of time attack mode. But we're not doing this particular time attack playthrough because for this point in time, we are about to be taking on the forms of the music coin runs. So because to begin with, we're about to be beginning through the forms of, what else? The North sector. So because of that though, we'll try to able to actually find all 8 of those music coins by the way. So for the most part, we'll try to able to actually find a couple of music coins as much as possible. So because of that though, because there was actually that particular picture image that you might find out when if you leave the level or complete the level and anything else to be more specific, then you will find out about the fact that in order to able to actually get the actual picture colored is the fact that you need to obtain every single of those music coins throughout each level. So because of that though, like I said before, there are only 8 of these in each level, so making us a grand total of... I'm not exactly sure how many there are in total exactly, although I will do a massive research on it until specifically by that time whenever I finish this recording. So either way though, and it's important to know that we do need able to... Sometimes we need to explore, and also other times though, there might be some situations that we have to use transformations every once in a while until you're able to actually grab every single of those music coins throughout. So... yeah, for the most part though, that's what we're going to be doing for the majority of the next couple of days, for Thursday and Tuesdays essentially, so that way we can able to finish this game. So yeah, you probably get the idea of what this is going, so either way though. Now, because originally we were expecting to able to do all the music coin run-throughs before we get into the actual final boss battle throughout the game, but it turns out though, it's a good thing I did manage to save it up for later, because... well, it's pretty obvious because obviously that we don't feel like wasting time trying to able to explore around dragging on certain things, so yeah, it's probably best able to noticing this from the start. So anyway, for the most part though, there's not much else I can honestly try to talk about because obviously there's honestly not much else to say because, well, apart from the fact that, well, relatively speaking, it's just the fact the matter is though, is that we're pretty much almost finishing up with this game, as I said this before. So yeah, you probably get the idea about the actual topic worth noting for to discuss. Apart from the fact that, well, I'm presuming that today's day is of course the, what day is it today? I forgot. It's just the fact that my brain is actually going a little bit more of a dead horse right now. Oh yeah, today's day is of course the 7th of October today, in this case in 2021, and it looks like that tomorrow, that after this video is going to release, that the new Metroid Dread for the Nintendo Switch will be releasing. So because of that though, so excited for that, even though unfortunately I can't guess on day 1 though, just because, well, as far as what Maxi has already mentioned about, ever since in his playthrough of Banjo-Tooie, then you probably get the idea of what he was going to say, and during at some point until likely also until on Monday, so specifically on next Monday. So because of that, although mind you, originally that Jewel was going to mention more about it until when she goes back on to Mario Party 6, but I'm afraid that she can't mention about that, so... anyway, for the most part though, all I have to do for this particular point for you know, obtain the last thing we want to get, and that is, of course, obtaining every single of those music coins. Even though some of these levels, like, for instance, Out of the Woods, might be pretty simple and self-explanatory, however, there might be some levels that might actually be a little bit of a problematic, I feel like. Especially whenever we get into the final level, which is, well, let's just say in one of the levels in East Sector, for example, and because of that, though, I'm not looking forward to able to going back into some of the levels in, the East Sector again, so because of that, though, but that's not gonna happen until specifically whenever we get into, like, let's just say, almost towards the end of possibly October or something. Well, mind you, because it has been like a couple of hours since I actually did mention, managed to able to mention something more about it though, but either way, that's the point stands, so yeah, let's just go ahead and use the donut transformation, or fatter Wario transformation, so that way we'll get ourselves our next, you know, music coin here, so, and there's no way we can able to get out of this, so, apart from the fact that we can able to actually just to... Oh, son of a biscuit. I hate these birds. I hate these birds in this game specifically because they are so precise for my taste. But that's probably just me anyway. So, anyway, another thing I want to classify for noticing this is the fact that, I mean, usually relatively speaking, about the fact that when it comes to forms of likely for other games I used to have on the PlayStation 4, like, for example, I used to have Mega Man 11 for the PlayStation 4 back in 2018, but now, unfortunately, I no longer have that version of the game due to the fact that, well, don't get me wrong, if you're following for our Let's Play channel back in 2018, then you do able to actually still check it out if you can. However, though, here's the thing, is the fact that I feel like that the trophy list on the PlayStation 4 version is actually going to be way tougher than I thought it was. So because of that, I think I probably might try to get Mega Man 11 at some point on the Nintendo Switch version, along with the forms of Mega Man Legacy Collections 1 and 2, and same applies to Mega Man X Legacy Collections 1 and 2, so that way we'll get around onto the Mega Man X games in the future. But regardless of such though, and same applies to Zero and ZX Legacy Collection as well, along with the Shantae games as well, which that also I was going to be planning to do that as well. So either way, I'm sure that Maxi has already mentioned about during the course of, well, specifically in Banjo-Tooie Let's Play. So with that being said, as you can see, we managed to gather ourselves, although the reason why I've managed to go back for a bit, because as far as time attack is concerned, like I mentioned this earlier, that as you can see, I've managed to grab all 4 of these different colored keys. So yeah, you probably get the idea about the actual topics worth noting for. And also during the likes of today, still managed to busy playing on Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania recently on the PlayStation 4 version, so because of that, I still had a lot of fun playing on it, especially noticeable with some more DLCs on the horizon, so anywho. And yeah, as you can see on screen, we managed to collect not only all 8 music coins, but also all 4 keys in the actual time attack mode. And after we grab all 4 keys during that time attack mode, basically that the time will actually tell you the forms of how much time you spend on the level. So the next level, as you can see on screen, is the fact that we're going to be hit onto the forms of the Peaceful Village. Now, as far as for the majority of the parts of these music coins run through, I'm going to be doing this on post commentary, because as you guys can clearly tell, it did actually took me a lot of hours into this particular finding those music coins for the first time. So because of that though, if you really want to know where they are, then be sure to able to actually just to check onto any places, because as far as I'm concerned, that sometimes it might be pretty hard to miss them, or in this case it's kind of easy to miss them for the first time players. So I just want to classify for noticing this that it will be kind of difficult for the first time around. So, but luckily, since I did manage to play this game for quite a few times on the 3DS Virtual Console re-release, despite I no longer have it, and also the original cartridge version of the game, so to be expected I can able to actually find those specific stuff. So, oh, and by the way, this is what that particular hidden door I was going to be on about. And that is only accessible if you're trying to able to get the next music coin. So, yeah, believe me, there's going to be a lot of editing I have to do with. Specifically, it takes stages like the forms of the Peaceful Village, for example. Although, I would classify for saying it doesn't matter if it's either day or night, but personally speaking, I always attempt to go for nighttime on this level, just because about the fact that sometimes that's usually in that invisible potion room, that it only requires nighttime in order to be able to go there. So because of that though, I just have no words to think about it, but regardless of everything else though, I got myself my another music coin, so even then though, because chances are you have to do a lot of search abouts around here. So because of that though, again, I'll point it out what the actual specific locations there are. Well, at least to be more specifically, if I was trying to think of it on my head. And here's the, I would say this is the last music coin we can able to obtain. So because of that, it only requires Zombie Wario in order to make it up there. So because of that, yeah, everything else all goes all fine and dandy and everything. So, and if you really want to beat the level quite easily, such as I was going to be doing right now, you can just simply able to hit in there, and then you would able to actually do it that way. It doesn't matter if you either complete the level, or specifically if you leave the level, or it really doesn't matter with the actual time attack mode, it's just bragging rights, I suppose. So, anyways, let's move on to the next level, the Fast Plane. And right from the bat, if we go into that second vine, then we get ourselves the first music coin. Pretty easy. And the next music coin is going to be located just right where the sun is, or the moon, depending if it's either day or night. And basically, all you have to do is basically just get up there, and that's all you have to do for this point right there. So, again, nothing too difficult about it, apart from the fact that you have to dodge the sun the most, or even the moon for that matter. So, the third music coin is just right where the actual, that pipe was. So, and by the way, some of these other music coins do require you to able to complete the actual mini game clear requirements for, you know, with the golf game, for instance. And for the life of me, whenever I was trying to able to go for these golf segments on my own time, even off screen, oh my god, it took me a lot of tries in order to do it successfully, because if you start to able to actually keep on screwing it up, specifically if you keep on spending a lot more coins, chances are you probably have to farm even more coins if you keep screwing things up. So because of that though, yeah, it's just a little bit of a weird, questionable design choices sometimes, but either way, it knows what it used to be, so. Anyway, so the next music coin is requires you to able to become Zombie Wario for not only just trying to get the blue key if you originally attempt to, but also get the next music coin. And alongside with those specific stuff though is the fact that I forgot to mention about the one of those music coins I was about to get, that you have to actually get caught by that weird propeller thing. So because of that, overall, not too shabby, even though it's kind of a shame that you can't exit out the actual pipes there was attempt to, because you have to go for the longest route if possible, so. And I think the last, music coin also requires the Zombie Wario by simply going for those specific spikes, as you can see, and chances are you would able to actually get all 8 of those lovely music coins. Even though it's entirely optional though, unless if you really want to get that last reward, if you manage to able to grab every single of those music coins throughout the whole entire one playthrough. Now I say just one playthrough, just because, again, as far as you guys can clearly notice from the start though, in order to able to actually get every single music coin throughout the game, you have to do it within one singular playthrough. You can't do it multiple playthroughs, because obviously you'll lose your progress if you somehow complete the level, like either obtain a treasure chest or anything. So because of that though, it really predetermines by the fact that you're gonna have to do all that multitasking and stuff. So because of that though, that seems alright for me, because obviously this is a handheld game after all. So because of that though, you can able to play on the go, as long as you weren't able to actually don't, you know, come across into that particular, you know, the lack of backlit light for that particular screen. So, yeah, I just want to classify that. So, the next music coin is just on that specific secret area that we can able to actually access to, and to do it, we need to get an enemy to destroy the enemy blocks. So, yeah, that should be pretty self-explanatory. There might be some music coins that it's usually, luckily, it's going to be on one specific spot on that specific giant area. So, like, take this fine climbing segment, for example, that not only do we get 1, not 2, but 3 music coins on that exactly the same room, but just a little bit further onto the 6th music coin. So because of that though, pretty easy if you get the hang of it. Now, on the 7th music coin, I somehow missed it at first, but then I discovered that we need to use a flammable Wario transformation, and then once you've done so already, chances are you stumble across another secret room that actually contains not only one of those thin platforms, but also the most annoying enemy in the game, which, personally, along with the forms of those stupid annoying blue birds, along with these orange birds, if you stumble across them in the grasslands level, those ceiling goop-like enemies are by far the most annoying enemies in this game in my opinion, just because sometimes you can't really predict of what's gonna coming up ahead, and chances are you might as well get a lot of knockback if you're not careful, so... And the last music coin is actually requires you to able to actually get touched by those little spiky objects as you see on screen and become in a little bit more inflatable Wario or something. And that way, if you fly all the way up to the top, and you should able to get the last music coin. So, and I believe that, I think the red chest door is usually over there. So because of that though, yeah, I can't be bothered able to actually grab all these, 4 keys again, because obviously we've already done this from the likes of the main playthrough, so there's no point in doing that, because apart from the fact that you don't get anything if you manage to do time attack mode besides bragging rights, so... But I digress. So either way though, let's move on to the next level, which is the Tidal Coast. Now, the first 2 music coins was actually in a location where you're able to stumble across not only for those red octopuses that you stumble across, but also you stumble across the blue key. So naturally speaking, you find the one of them on the left side, and you find the other one on the right. So, and the 3rd music coin is just right exactly where the red key was located, so easy and self-explanatory. And also the next music coin is actually requires you to able to throw an enemy, and then that way you would be able to get the next well, music coin. So I think it's just almost right near to where the red chest is, if I recall correctly. So the fifth music coin is actually pretty easy. You just get out able to swim downwards there, so it's all pretty simple and self-explanatory. Now, the next 2 music coins requires you to able to become Bouncy Wario for not only one of those music coins just on to the right, as you can see, almost right near to where the grey key was, but also another one just on towards about the fact that you could able to almost go all the way back to the beginning portion of the level. So, well, you have to wait for a while until when that Bouncy Wario transformation just finishes. So, yeah, it's all about likely due to the fact that we're gonna have to wait for a bit of a while until the transformation ends, or specifically, yeah. And also, you're gonna have to be very careful of those annoying, like, robot-looking thingies that likes to able to poke you about and trying to give you a knockback if you're not careful. And the final music coin is actually kind of annoying to get, but honestly, it did took me one try to do this. And that, you have to jump at the right moment with Flat Wario, and you should able to get that last music coin just no problem. So, as you can see, I did a lot of editing stuff, like I said this to you earlier, just in case I just want to get this fast thing going. So because of that though, yeah, I just want to get this out of the way. So there's the first row done, and I believe we're only down to like 4 rows to go, which I might be wrong, but either way, let's move on to Sea Turtle Rocks. And believe me, for the majority of those music coins, it does require you a lot of like breaking the wall segments like this. It kind of reminds me of the forms of Super Mario Bros. 2 in Super Mario Bros. 2 USA. They gonna have to keep on digging through sand in order to able to progress, whilst in this game in particular, it's all about likely keep on punching the actual walls before progressing. So yeah, it's a lot of like multitasking to do. So but either way though, so yeah, there's not much we can able to actually say about this for the most part, apart from the fact that I would like to mention about the fact the matter is though, with all these new stuff or anything else to be more specific. But anyways, the next music coin is just almost right near where the grey key is. If you go to the top, and then also trying to break some more blocks to begin with, and trying to punch these walls throughout, then that will actually lead you to, and also occasional ground pounds by breaking those blocks as well, and that way you can get yourselves, what else? Another music coin. And similarly, we have to go into the different way by going to the bottom route and able to actually lead you to the forms of another music coin. However, there might be some other music coins that does actually require you to beat certain boss fights, by the way, in order to progress. Like, for instance, in Sea Turtle Rocks, for example, I believe you saw it from the likes of how it does it on that first time we actually, like, defeat the boss. Like, basically, that's, you get out to able to defeat the boss before you get that music coin. So, yeah, I just want to show that off later. So the next music coin is actually a bit of a timing going on right there while you're trying to roll around. And another 2 music coins is actually going to be on the exact same location, but one of them is actually underneath on that highest height, and also another one just happens to be almost right near to the blue chest. So, at least if I recall that correctly. So, and as you can see, I defeat that particular familiar boss fight, as you saw, and basically after you go onto this little floaty thingy as a platform, and then you climb on the ladder, and sure enough, then you were able to stumble across the final music coin. And yeah, that's pretty much about it when it comes to that, and I think that pretty much concludes all of the music coins obtained for the North sector. So because of that though, pretty easy when you get the hang of it. So I guess we should probably endings off at this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Wario Land 3. That is the fact that we're about to be moving on to the next sector when it comes to the forms of obtaining every single music coins. That will hit on to the West sector. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Later, fellas.